This is a video which looks at how to use the Cirrostratus system to do test submissions to make sure everything's working smoothly. It helps particularly when you are taking information from another computer system, putting it through Cirrostratus using a digital link and then going off to HMRC, and it uses the HMRC test servers, not their live servers. So first we will start by creating an account on Cirrostratus. Right, so we've opened up a new account on Cirrostratus and we have a legal entity there which is called Test, which isn't a bad name. Now if you go on to the Manage Authorizations page, you'll see how it has live or test not identified. There's live mode. You see that the page goes green here, live mode, and there's test mode. The thing about test mode is obviously it's testing things, so it doesn't actually have any long-lasting effect. If you're using live mode, firstly you will have to go through using the open authorization system to make sure you've given the servers authority to deal with things with the HMRC, and secondly it does update data that matters, and if you look at the bottom of the page you'll see how it's got test mode at the bottom of the page. And if we swap into live mode, it goes right down to the bottom of the page and it says live mode. So we'll go back into test mode. Now in test mode, on the Manage Authorizations page, you get an option, Create Test User here. And Create Test User does what it says on the tin, which is it creates a test user. It takes a little bit of time, and the reason it takes a little bit of time is it's first creating a test user on HMRC's computer systems, and having created a test user on their systems, it then authorizes it, giving the open authorization authority for the things you see on the screen. So in this instance, reading and writing VAT and various other things to do with self-assessment and estates and everything. And here's the information that is the test user here, and all the test VAT number and everything. And the way the system does it is, if you watch at the top of the screen, you see the VAT number suddenly appears because it's taken that from the test number. And if we then go on to submit VAT return, we now have a valid user, test user, but a valid one. So it comes up with obligations, and if you look at the list of obligations, the way HMRC's tests work is you can have obligations that they're all the test data is always in 2017, and every time you reload it, it does something slightly different. Sometimes it comes up with 4 obligations, sometimes it comes up with only 1, as it has done this time, and sometimes it comes up with 2 obligations, but that varies from time to time. Now on the Manage Authorizations page, it has a useful thing at the bottom where it produces a test file, and we can download the test file and load it into Excel, which I'll bring onto the screen here. And that's a test file with test data, but importantly it's got the right VAT number in it, because the system has this VAT number verify system, which means that it tracks whether or not you've got the right VAT number. And that in essence then gives us the ability, if we wish to go on to the VAT submissions page here, which is now looking at the HMRC live server, and it gets the obligations from the test server, that is, and it loads the values up here. And if we pick one of those obligations and it doesn't worry about whether it thinks it's received or not, because this is test data. And then we can submit that to HMRC, and we can see that that's worked. So what we've gone through here is we've created a new account. Then what we've done is to go into test mode, so we're accessing the test servers. And then what we've done is to create a test user, and that's a test user on HMRC's servers with test VAT number, and we've downloaded a test CSV file, and then we've copied that across to the VAT return, and we've submitted it to VAT. Now obviously you can then experiment with different types of VAT return, and this is the information that will come from other computer systems, either written directly as a CSV file, as some people are doing, or put into a mapping spreadsheet or whatever it may be. But that's how you can then test all that information and make sure that everything's working.